In this video, we'll have a deeper overview of the outliner and the collection system especially. So here for the outliner, we did see already that we have the possibility to enable different things, like for example, if your objects are selectable here, it will add the possibility to select your object or not, or here for example for render, and I think it's the only ones that are interesting for our training. But you have other options, like for example, if you want to hold out an object into your render, it can be interesting too. But more or less, we will use only this option sometimes, and not often. Actually, we will use more the hide option there. So to hide an object here, you can use the H shortcut, okay? H like hide, and Alt H, come back into your 3D view. So it works for any object, and it works for any selection too. If you have, for example, two objects that you want to hide, with H it will not be here, and with Alt H it will come back. But be careful, because if you hide something into the 3D view like that, it will still be into the render. Okay, if I do a render, I still have my cubes there, and I will do Alt H and put my torus there, okay, I will hide this again, and as you can see now, I have my three objects, okay, even if it's hidden. So be careful about that. If you hide, it will still render as it shows here. So that's it for hide the objects. But how to manage the collection? So you have the possibility to make several things here. Let's say I would like to group my objects by type, and here I will add different meshes in my scene. Okay, let's say 5 meshes like that, and I will maybe add another lamp to make a kind of complex lighting, and let's say a light here, a sun, okay, and I will make a rotation with my sun and everything to have a different lighting. And I will have several cameras too, so I will add a camera there to take another shot of my scene somewhere. I will put my camera here, and just with Control 0 I will have another view here, and maybe a better view if I go there and Control R0. Okay, so I have 2 cameras, 2 lamps, and 3 objects. And I would like to classify my collections here with all these objects. Okay, so what I can do, I can select my objects by type, so I will deselect everything with Alt A. And oh yeah, something interesting with A and Alt A. So A is to select, Alt A to deselect everything. Me, I like to use here into the preferences here. If you go to the key map, you have the select all toggles here. And now if you come back to Blender normally, if you just use the A, you don't have to use the Alt A anymore. It's A select everything and A deselect everything, and you don't have to think about use the Alt key anymore. And I like this feature a lot, so we'll keep it like that. With A we select, with A we deselect the object. So if I want to select my objects here only by type, I just go there by select here, all by type, and I select my meshes. Okay, and now if I use the M shortcut, it will give me the move to collection. So I will have the possibility to put in my scene collection in the root of my all collections here, to the collection that is already created by default in Blender here with the collection, or to create a new collection. And me, I want to create a new collection. This collection, I will call it meshes, because it's meshes. And I did, and I make OK, and now I have all my objects that are under meshes collection. So I can globally manage this group here by these options. If I want to hide everything, I hide everything. If I want to not render everything, I not render everything. And like this, it's very easy to manage when you organize your scene well. So let's say you want to do the same with the lights. You select your lights here, and with M you tell, okay, I want a new collection, and this will be light. Good. And same, now I will have the lights that will be enabled here in my grouping collection here. If I want to rename a collection, I just double click on it, and here it will be the cameras for sure. Okay, and I have my camera group now, so I can kind of organize my scene very well, just like that. And let's say, for example, you have a scene, you have a collection that you want to duplicate, for example, or any object starting from here. You make a right click and you have options there that are interesting. You can copy a collection, paste a collection, you can duplicate a collection. So let's say I duplicate this collection, and I will have now meshes and meshes 001. Okay, and if I just select everything into meshes like this with shift key here and move this, I will have two groups of objects. Okay, and so it's interesting to manage this directly by the outliner here, and by the possibility to manage the meshes and the light. But for example, let's say you model a house and you want to classify your objects inside. So let's say you have the wall of the house, you have the roof of the house, you have the furnitures of the house, and you will make groups like that. So you will have a collection of furnitures, a collection of windows, and a collection of doors, a collection, and like this it will be easy to navigate into your 3D project and to can select your object easily. So rename well your collection, rename well your objects inside your collections too, that you can select it easily later, and hide it later easily like that. So it will give you really more flexibility after to manage your work. So really important one here. What I did say for the last one, I wanted to tell something else, I think. Yeah, the last thing I wanted to tell you about is that you can, for example, move an object to another group. So for example, let's say you have two group meshes here, and you would like to put Suzanne into the first group. So Suzanne duplicated here into the first group. So now you will just click and drag Suzanne into the first group. And that's it. And now inside meshes you have your two Suzannes here. So easy to manage. Just click and drag your objects into your collection as well. It works too. So very powerful system that gives you the possibility to organize your file and to rename everything well. And don't take this opportunity to do it for this habit to do it for every project you will make. So that's it for this video. For the next video we will go into objects relationships.